Hey Burn Nation, Melanie Skinner here, franchise partner at Burn Bootcamp in Ashburn, and I'm here just to chat with you about my journey with Burn and how I got started. So here's some questions. How I got started with Burn. I was a new mom of a little boy who's now 6, and I was really just looking for a community that fit my need. And I wanted to find mom friends, I wanted to find time for myself, I wanted to get back to feeling like myself after having a baby. And so I really found my place at Burn. I've met countless number of friends, and now I've turned it into a career, which has really just reignited a fire in me from leaving my career to be a stay-at-home mom and getting to raise 2 little boys who keep me very busy. And now I get to pour my love of Burn back into all of our community members in Ashburn. Why Burn? I kind of answered that one a little bit already, but I feel like the community aspect is really such a differentiator for us. And we are able to connect men and women together over like-minded abilities. We want to push ourselves. We want to try something new. Sometimes we don't think we can do it. Sometimes we surprise ourselves and maybe we're adding to our list of things, okay, I'm not ready for that right now. I really need to take a step back and build the foundation and try this box jump, for example, again, something that you didn't think you would ever be able to do, and next thing you know, you find yourself doing it. So the community just really hits home for me, and I've seen the changes that I've made in myself because of the positive impact of other members cheering me on, of the make sense, say yes, of the 2 claps on 2. And I just think that we really have something special here, and we should really be thankful for that. What has Burn done for me and my family? Of course, owning a business is scary, and people that know me, especially my Burn Ashburn family, know my quote that I try to live by every day is do something every day that scares you. And that looks different for me on a daily basis. Sometimes it's something with my kids, sometimes it's something in my relationship with my husband, who is also an entrepreneur and balancing 8 different businesses of his own. And a lot of times it's in the gym. It's doing a podcast that I'm not maybe necessarily comfortable doing and pushing my boundaries constantly. So that's my one piece of advice is do something every day that scares you, and you get to decide what that is every day. How would my kids describe what I do? Well, they come typically for all of the lovely ladies in Child Watch, but they stay for the after Burn protein bars. And that is a huge selling piece for me, sometimes getting them in the gym on days that they're not really wanting to be there. Most days they're begging me to go back. And I think that they would say, they call it mom's gym. So I think they know, they see, they get to watch. They come in and out of the gym with me a lot during camps. If I'm walking to the back, they sit there and see. They have a great relationship with our trainers and they love on them. Our BAs, our whole staff. It's just a huge family. So it's mom's gym, but I'm sure they would say I run a lot because they see us running by the Child Watch room when it's nice outside. What does my morning routine look like? I am a morning person. So I was a collegiate gymnast, and for years since I was 5 years old, would wake up and do gymnastics before elementary school. So 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, out on a 4-inch piece of wood, trying to focus. So my best time of the day for me to get anything done is in the morning. So I'm a 5:30 a.m. camper typically. I wake up and check to see what the business did the day before. That's when I respond to emails because I also go to bed early since I get up so early. So sometimes I do miss some of that communication from the PM camps. And that's my, I'm a big, big, big proponent of mornings. So even if I don't go to morning camp, I still set my alarm. I still get up at the same time so that I can have me time, quiet time before my kids are up, my husband is up, and the world just starts going. How does the support extend outside of your gym? So I have, it's not a great story, but after I had my first son, I lost a couple of babies in between having my second. And those days were dark. They were hard, but I would walk into the gym, I would see a member who just could look at me and tell that I was having a day, a fellow mom, someone at the front desk at the BA desk when I was a member, and it would help me get through the rest of my day. And those days that you don't feel like going to the gym, those days that you're like, man, this is rock bottom, these are hard, dark, stressful seasons, those are the days you need to get into the gym, because it's not about the physical activity. Sure, that makes us feel better, but it is about the mental fortitude that we're showing people and ourselves that I am going to do something for me, even if I'm not my best, even if I don't feel like it, I'm gonna do something for myself. And those members, they don't probably even know the amount of things that they did for me during those times. And I hope that our gym now, flash forward, 5 years, is able to do that for other people. Let's see, there's so many good ones. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? So I kind of touched on being an athlete, and I was a gymnast, which is an individual sport. And for better or worse, I've never lacked the confidence in myself. And I always tell people that it's not the confidence because I think I know I'm going to succeed. I don't know that I'm going to succeed, but I know I'm going to put in every piece of blood, sweat, tear, education, work hour that I have to do to make sure I give myself the best chance to get to that goal. So if I had to go back to my 18-year-old self, I would just say, stick with it. Don't get discouraged when things don't fall exactly where you think. Your life is going to be better than you thought it was going to be at 18, but it's not going to look the same, and that's okay. And also, my biggest piece would be to know that you can change. Every day is another opportunity for change. So if you have your heart set on one career and then it's not feeling like that's what you really want to do anymore, it's not feeding your soul, it's not exciting, it's not waking up and making you want to go make changes, then make a change. You get to decide if you want to go back and do something different. There's no better day than today to do that. And I feel like it's scary. Again, do all the scary things, but it's scary, but in the long run, the sooner you make changes in your life for the better, even though they're really, really hard, the quicker your life is going to be where you want it to be. My favorite protocol day, I love anything cardio based. So I love Metcon, I love burst, I love core strength and conditioning. Core strength and conditioning is probably my favorite, which I know is probably a hot take because I don't know that it's everyone's favorite usually, but I've grown to really love the strength days, mostly because I've seen the increase in my weights. I've seen the direct changes that I've been able to make. Before, I would say to myself, I don't want to lift 20 pounds. I don't want to bulk up. And now I look back and I'm lifting 25, 30, 35. On Flex Your Fitness, I saw such a huge change week over week. And I'm thinking to myself, bulk up. That's not even real. So ladies, lift the heavy weights because it's not going to make you bulk up. And it is so empowering to see a big weight on the ground that you're able just to pick up no problem. Let's see. Oh, my favorite piece of burn gear. I love this sweatshirt that I'm wearing because it's so thin, but I'm a burn gear junkie. I think my husband was okay with us becoming franchise partners just so he wasn't going to see me spending and buying all of the burn gear on a monthly basis. But I turn the burn gear into like everyday wear. It does not have to be with workout pants. It doesn't have to be on the way to the gym. I have some burn blue shoes that I always wear, Nikes, and I just love representing the brand because I'll see people throughout our community and they'll say, oh, you go to Burn. Like, man, you guys are crazy. I see you guys running out there. I hear the music from the parking lot. You guys are nuts. And I take that as a total compliment. So rock your burn gear. Let's see. Oh, how would my parents describe me? Oh, well, my dad used to tell me that I was like a piece of toast in the morning because when I would flip out of the toaster, I was like awake and ready to go, which is very, very accurate. I had lots of energy. I still have lots of energy. My sons always talk so much now, and they get it directly from me. My husband asks all the time, do you guys have a word quota that you have to reach before 7 a.m. or something? Why is there so much talking in this house? So they definitely get that personality from me. Let's see, my best. Okay, here. What's the best part about being a mother? Gosh, there's so many things. I love being a boy mom. I love all the sports. I'm very competitive. I saw my son telling one of his teammates to pay attention, and he's 3 the other day. So it's clearly rubbing off on them, but I just love seeing their personalities. I love seeing how much they soak in from what I do, what I say, what I don't say. And I just see myself as a mom. I'm trying to make the world a better place through them. So I'm trying to raise them the right way so that then when they are out and no longer me telling them, don't say that, don't do that, we use this, we don't say that, that they will be reminded of every decision I make is to make the world and myself a better place. So keep that in mind in those hard days. I feel like I'm in the trenches with the fighting like kangaroo boys over here already at 3 and 6. And I think that really just knowing that everything is a season, everything requires deep breaths. There is beauty in every stage. I miss the baby stage, which I never thought I would ever say out of my mouth, and I miss it. And so I think that that's just really important. And what we can do as parents is changing the world for the better through the eyes of our children. Tell me about 3 influential people in your life. So I have a grandmother who's 94 and she still lives by herself. I'm from Kansas. My mom grew up on a pig farm. My dad is from Western Kansas. You can literally see the entire state like out his front porch. And I learned from my mom, my dad, and my grandma just hard work ethic and never giving up, never, letting the world go past you without making sure that you gave it your all. And my grandma, she is so, she's sharp as a tack still in 94. And I just love seeing how much beauty she still sees in life at this age, and how much she still can give us advice. She's hasn't been 36 for a very, very long time, but she still can pull back and give me good reminders about how to be a good mom. And I had a stay-at-home mom. I was raised by a stay-at-home mom, and my mom was there for everything, all the things. So I try to be very present when I'm with the kids. And, Burn, when I'm at Burn, it's Burn. When I'm with my kids, it's my kids. And luckily I work for a company, and we represent a brand who are run by a father and a mother who understand the importance of the work-life balance and the family and the kids camps and the child watch. And so it's nice that I can merge them together at times, but that I also still have my own piece of Burn to myself, and then still my home life that doesn't have Burn. Oh man, what's a common myth about your job? I do think a lot of people think that I'm a trainer just because they hear you're a franchise partner. Oh, you must be the trainer. I save that really hard work for the people who are way more skilled than me at it. And I find no more joy than watching our trainers in their element and, finding a member and pushing them to their limit and seeing the member's face when they realize, oh my goodness, I saw so-and-so walking over to me with a weight. I thought there was no way I was gonna be able to do that. And then I just did 10 reps. And I love sitting in the gym and watching to see the different ways that our BAs and our ops manager and our child watch staff and our trainers, how they all are impacting lives. And sometimes the members don't even know. I know I felt when I was a member that, how did they know that about me? How did they know it was my birthday? How did they know I needed push today? How did they know my kid unfortunately was gonna cry in child watch for 10 minutes, but they knew that I needed that time to myself. And pulling back the curtain of becoming a franchise partner, the amount of work and passion and joy and love that our staff has for our members is just, it gives me chills now talking about it. And once I pulled back that curtain and saw how much goes on behind the scenes, it just made me fall in love with burn even more. Let me see. Oh man. What's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs? So this actually comes from my husband. So he's an entrepreneur and helped me he's also a franchise partner with me, and he runs 8 businesses that are completely opposite of burn. And he really recommended, putting everything on silent, putting 2 hours in your calendar, and being able to just dedicate those 2 uninterrupted hours to burn. And I will, turn my do not disturb on. Of course, the school can call if they need to get to me. But I put my do not disturb on, and I make sure the amazing amount of things I can get done in 2 hours when I'm not distracted by myself or by my phone or by a television or, my wandering mind. It's so important to get 2 hours of time, or 1 hour of time if that's how your schedule allows, of uninterrupted focus, and you can really knock a lot of things off those lists. What's one thing that I do for myself outside of burn? So I'm a huge walker, especially in this beautiful weather, and I love to go on walks, listen to podcasts. I listen to true crime podcasts. I listen to the Huberman Lab. I listen to Burns podcast. I love listening to Morgan and Devin chatting and hearing from other franchise partners about some of their hacks. And I love getting outside and getting some sun. So whatever way you can do that, that's a good way to do it. I also like to play tennis. I'm very competitive, so anything that I can compete at, I will enjoy doing. Let's see, what are 3 things that are always in your fridge? So we always have the Too Good yogurts because the macros are awesome on those, and my kids love them and my husband loves them. I usually always make like a Big Mac casserole. I don't know if anyone's made those, but they're so good. They're easy to have for leftovers. Especially for lunch. I don't usually make time to sit down and actually make a lunch. So if I can have leftovers for the week that are my lunch, that's the only way I'm gonna get a healthy lunch in. And let's see, I always pre-make my Ignite for the morning. So I always have that in my fridge because I like it cold. And when I'm walking out the door, I don't wanna make time to, turn everything on, shake it up, run the risk of waking one of my kids up or my husband. So I always do that in the morning and reshake up as I drive. Oh man, let's see. I've done a lot of these. A good piece of advice that my dad gave me was that the right decision and the hard decision are a lot of times the same. And I think a lot of times we see an easy choice and we think, oh, this has to be it. And a lot of times it's a trick we play on ourselves to convince ourselves that's it. And so I try to look a lot of times at what's going to be the hardest route for me to take, because that may be, although it's the hardest, it may be the quickest, it may be the best. And so he really helps me analyze those decisions in terms of, just because it's the easiest choice doesn't mean it's the right choice. And I think that's important to really ask yourself, am I being honest with myself with what's easy and hard? And we talk about the hard choices in burn, and coming into your first camp, that's hard. That is gonna be the hardest choice you make in your journey with burn, in my opinion, because stepping through the door when you maybe don't know anyone on that floating floor, you haven't worked out in whether it be a month or 10 years, because spoiler, I'm still sore working out in these darn workouts that Matt puts together. And so I think stepping through the door, hardest part. Everything from there is just gonna be smooth sailing because you're making a choice for yourself, you're putting yourself first, you're starting something new, and it's scary. It's scary to walk into a gym sometimes when you don't know someone. It's scary to go to a camp that you maybe don't know who you should high five, because we love our high fives. And so make that hard choice for yourself, because it's really short term the easiest choice. Putting it off and waiting longer and, oh, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next promo, maybe when they're offering this, maybe if I can get a friend, like, do it for you. You know, at the end of the day, when the days are hard and the days you don't feel like going to the gym, you're gonna be the one that's gonna get up, set your alarm, and drive to the gym. So don't do it for anyone else other than yourself. Let's see. I don't think I have any unpopular opinions. What would I like to be remembered for? I think, you know, being a mother, that's gonna be my biggest answer, is I just wanna be remembered for being a good wife and raising 2 nice, kind sons. And if they're competitive, that's just like the cherry on top. But I think it's really important that we, especially as moms, we can't do everything. You can't do everything in a day. There is no day that you're gonna say, I gave 100% to this bucket and 100% to that bucket. You're never gonna be able to do that. You only have a certain amount. So some days you give 80% of myself to my burn bucket, and sometimes it's gonna be less with my family. And sometimes it's gonna be flip-flopped, and that's okay. And I just wanna leave a legacy for my sons that I did every single thing I could to raise them the right way and to be kind to others. Oh man, what's an insult you've received that you're proud of? Well, a lot of people tell me that I talk a lot, so I can't say I'm not mad about that at all. I remember as a kid, someone used to tell one, I don't know, I was like maybe in 5th grade. It stuck with me forever that I walked funny because being a gymnast, I have like very intense posture. And now I'm thankful for it because my back doesn't hurt and I stand up really straight. So maybe that would be the insult that I'm proud of. And the last question is really just about failure and what my biggest failure is. You know, I've had a lot of failures. I was not good or bad. I did not have the natural talent for being a gymnast. I had to work 3 times as hard to be half as good. And that was very, 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 very hard as a child. And even when I went to college, I tore my ACL 3 times in college. So I really didn't even, unfortunately, get to finish out my gymnastics career. And in the moment, that really felt like a failure that I had, you know, I had not been able to finish out what I had started for, you know, almost 18 years of my life. And now I don't see it as a failure. Now I see it as a blessing because I was able to really close that chapter, and I've continued what I learned from sports, the hard work ethic, you know, it's not gonna come easy to everyone. Some people can come into the gym and do a double under in 3 tries. Some people need to work on it for a year or 2. That doesn't mean that you're not as good as the next person. It just means some of us, unfortunately not me, I wasn't blessed with certain talents. You have to find what you are blessed with and focus on those. And take man, these are hard. I wasn't lucky enough to have this talent, and rep out those single unders as many as you can. And one day, you'll surprise yourself and do 20 in a row. And just finding ways to turn that failure into a positive and learn from it, that's the biggest thing. So again, I'm Melanie Skinner, Ashburn franchise partner. And please like, subscribe, comment, and 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.